Welcome back guys. So I dual booted Windows 11 and SteamOS on my Steam Deck. In this video I won't be showing you how to install and dual boot Windows or install the refined script for the purpose of boot manager or install Steam Deck's APU's Windows drivers. I am assuming that you have already done all of this stuff. I followed Deck Wizard's YouTube tutorial video to do this. Here I'll be showing you how to debloat Windows and to tweak it so that it runs just like SteamOS, giving us the best possible gaming experience. I installed this version of Windows 11 on my Steam Deck, version 22H2, and downloaded the official Steam Deck drivers from Valve's website. So first let me just show you the Windows scaling feature. Right click here, click on display settings. Here the recommended scale is 125%. This basically increases the size of applications and text. Let me just go back to 100%. You can see everything has been reduced in size. The thing is, some Windows applications and games don't scale properly with the Windows scaling feature. So if they are not running in full screen mode, just set scale to 100%. But for the purpose of this video, I'll just go back to 125%. It's very difficult for me to read the text like this. Much better now. So let me just hide the taskbar. It is completely optional. You don't need to do this. I'll be using the translucent TB app for this. There you go. I've connected my Bluetooth mouse and keyboard to Steam Deck. So the first thing that I did after installing Windows was to activate it. This is not mandatory in order to use Windows, but if you don't do this, Windows will keep reminding you about it by flashing a message right here. Just open File Explorer. Right click on this PC, click on Properties. Scroll down, click on Product Key and Activation, and you can see activation state active. I used a cheap OEM key to activate Windows. I'm also using a 512GB SD card to run Windows games, Samsung Evo Plus A2 rated speed. Just make sure it has been formatted to NTFS format. My primary reason for having Windows on my Steam Deck is to run PC Gamepass games. This is not possible on SteamOS. So by default on Windows, Steam is not installed. Need to download it. Just click on Install Steam. Again click here, Install Steam. It's already present on my PC. There it is. So just run this application. Once you are done with the installation, open Steam. Just enter your Steam account's credentials in order to log in. By default, Steam does not detect the SD card. In order to get it detected, just click on Steam here, Settings, Steam Library Folders. Then click on this plus icon here. Click on this slot. Here select your SD card. There it is, external drive. Add. Now when you are installing any games, you will have the option to install the game either on C drive or your SD card. We can even use the trackpad when Steam is running in the background. All Steam controls work by default with Steam games. For non-Steam games, I'll be using SWICD application. We'll cover it in the later part of the video. We have the option to run Steam automatically when Windows boots up. All you need to do is go to Steam, go to Settings, click Interface and make sure this setting is enabled. Run Steam when my computer starts. That's it. This is optional. A few quality of life enhancements. Let me just show you how to enable the virtual keyboard. This can be useful when no physical keyboard has been connected to Steam Deck. Just click on Windows here, type in typing settings popped up. Just click on touch keyboard. Make sure this setting is checked. Show the touch keyboard when there's no keyboard attached. Let me just show you its utility. I'll just tap in this slot. There you go, there's the touch keyboard. Then open the Microsoft Edge browser. Click on the three dots here. Then click on Performance. Again click on the three dots here. Click on Manage Performance Settings. Make sure this setting has been unchecked. Continue running background extensions and apps when Microsoft Edge is closed. So before running the Windows debloat script, make sure no Windows updates are pending. Just click on the Windows icon here. Type in update. Windows update settings. You can see you are up to date. Let me just show you how to run the debloat script. Just go to this page. It's a script by Titus. I'll give its link in the description of this video. And click on copy here under April 2022 section, whichever is latest. Click on Windows. We need to open the PowerShell, so just type POW. There's the PowerShell prompt. Just click on run as administrator. Just paste the text icon that we just copied, Ctrl+V, hit enter. There you go, Debloat script loaded up, and you can see we are having some scaling issues. Let me try to maximize the application. There you go. So just go to tweaks, click on laptop. Description for all of these tweaks has been provided. I'll uncheck this setting, enable power throttling, and check this setting, set display for performance. Check this setting as well, set time to UTC. After dual booting Windows and SteamOS, for some reason time on Windows is always wrong. This setting fixes that, thank God. Now these tweaks are optional. Remove all Microsoft Store apps, remove Cortana, remove Edge browser. I'm not going to remove the Store app. I use Edge browser to run xCloud cloud gaming, so it's entirely up to you. From here, just enable this setting, disable hibernation. I'll just uncheck disable storage sense. It's up to you. And check this setting as well, delete temporary files. These are the settings that I am using. Once you are done with your tweaks, just click on run tweaks. After this, you will be seeing some commands being run on the PowerShell. Once it has been completed, a prompt will show up, settings were applied. You can always revert the settings. Just click on undo tweaks, so no problems here. Then go to config. Here make sure you check this setting, all .NET framework. Then just click on install features. Wait for a few minutes, same thing will happen. A prompt will show up that the settings were applied. Then go to updates. Okay, so here it is recommended to use this setting, security settings. Basically this will delay feature updates by 2 years. You will be getting the security updates 4 days after the release. The thing is, the feature updates often add bugs to the system. They can break your refined script. You want to delay them as long as possible. Security updates help in removing the security flaws. These are the default settings out of the box. You will be receiving all of the updates. This is usually not recommended, disabling all of the updates. Just stick with security or default setting. This is entirely up to you. It's easy to verify the changes that we applied in the debloat script. After restarting Windows, time in the taskbar should be shown correctly. Now guys, SteamOS version 3.4 broke the refined script. After pressing the power button, boot manager does not load up. It straight away boots up Windows. I was able to fix this issue very easily. All I did was install Easy UEFI application. You can download it for free from this website. I'll give its link in the description. Just downloaded the free trial version, installed it, just open it, manage EFI boot option. These are all of the boot options available on my Steam Deck. By default, Windows Boot Manager had the highest boot priority, so all I needed to do was select Windows Boot Manager and then click here, enable or disable the selected entry. Now its status has been set to normal. If I press the power button, Windows will straight away boot up. So I just need to disable it. Click on this setting again, disable. That's it. Your refined script should be loaded now. When you press the power button, you can close this application. Again, scaling issue. There you go. Out of the box performance of Windows on Steam Deck is not good at all. Most of the games underperform. We need to change the UMA buffer size from 1 GB to 4 GB. In order to do that, we need to access the BIOS utility. After doing this, I'll be setting the virtual memory size to 16 GB. So let's access the BIOS utility. Turn off the system. Now just press and hold the plus volume button. And just press the power button. You'll hear a sound. Wait for the utility menu to pop up. There you go. So just go to setup utility, go to the advanced tab. I did the same thing with SteamOS, already shown you this. Go to UMF frame buffer size. You can see I have selected it to 4 GB. By default its value will be set to 1 GB. So just select 4 GB, press A. In order to save the changes, we need to press the select button. It's the button right above the left analog stick. Save changes, yes. That's it. Your system will reboot. In my case, refined script should pop up. There you go. From here, select Windows. Right D-pad button, press A. This is basically the minimum physical memory that is allotted to GPU's VRAM. Steam Deck has 16 GB of physical memory. It is shared between RAM and GPU's VRAM. Now I'm going to change the virtual memory size. So just click on Windows here. Type Advanced. View Advanced System Settings. Then click on Advanced tab here. Click on Settings here under Performance. Click on Advanced tab again. Then click on Change here under Virtual Memory. Here by default it is set to automatically manage paging file size for all drives. Just click on Custom Size. Type in the value. I have typed the initial size value to 16,000. Maximum size value to 16,500. Once you're done with the typing, just click on Set. And then you need to apply the changes. After you click on OK, a prompt will show up asking you to restart the system. Click on Yes and restart your system. That's it, the change will be applied. Basically 16 GB of space from your internal storage will be used as a RAM buffer. So after you apply the settings, 16 GB of space from your internal storage will be reduced. Now we need to configure the Windows power plan. Just click on Start here. Type Energy. Edit Power Plan. Here I have set these values to never. Put the computer to sleep. When on battery, never. Plugged in, never. Entirely up to you. Turn off the display after 5 minutes. Just click on Change Advanced Power Settings. Expand turn off hard disk after. For both on battery and plugged in, I have set the value to 0, that is never. Then expand desktop background settings, expand slideshow. For both on battery and plugged in, I have set the value to paused. Scroll down, expand AMD power slider, expand overlay. For both on battery and plugged in, I have set the value to better performance. That's it. Click on apply, click on OK, close. You can see the battery percentage from the taskbar. There's the battery icon, battery status 45% remaining. Estimated runtime is around 4 hours and 56 minutes. This is a Steam Deck Windows 11 guide posted by baldsealion on Github. Very useful. Here they have answered a lot of queries regarding Windows. Recommended settings that can help in improving the performance. I have been using a few of these settings. If possible, do give it a read. I'll give its link in the description of this video. Now I'll be showing you how to use Steam Deck controls with any non-Steam game. For example, games that are available on Epic Game Store, PC Gamepass or any other platform. I'll be using this application, Steam Deck Windows Controller Driver, SWICD. It basically emulates the Steam Deck controller as an Xbox controller. This application is not required to run any game from Steam. Steam automatically loads the correct controller configuration for Steam Deck. Now you can use any other Windows application for the same purpose, for example Steam Deck Tools controller, but I'll be sticking with this. Using it, I can even remap the back grip buttons of Steam Deck to any other buttons of the Steam Deck controller. So let me show you how to install it. Just click on installation here. We need to download these 3 files. First we have the bus driver. Click on it. Then click on this exe file, download the latest one. Go back. Then click on this link, Microsoft Visual C++. Download it. Then click on this link, Steam Windows Controller Driver, the main file. Then expand the assets section and click on this link, setup file. Once you have downloaded all of the files, just install them one by one. First install the bus driver. I have already done that. Then install the VC Redis file, and in the end install the SWICD setup file. Once the setup is complete, just go back to desktop. From here, load the driver application. There it is. It will load up in the taskbar. Green sign indicates that the driver is running. So open it by double clicking here. Expand the application. Click on default profile. Default controller configuration should work fine. I did tweak a few of the controls. Will be showing you my entire controller configuration. First, you need to make sure disable lizard mode is activated. Just check these two boxes. Lizard mode on Steam Deck emulates mouse and keyboard. We can move the mouse pointer using the right trackpad and simulate the pressing of left mouse button by pressing the right trigger. These features will get disabled when we enable the disable lizard mode. We also need to make sure Steam is not running in the background. Right click on Steam, click on exit. Now if I use the trackpad, pointer won't move. This will help in preventing the dual input in games where D-pad buttons are used. It will also prevent the dynamic switching of controller profile from Xbox controller to keyboard controls when you accidentally touch the trackpad. This can cause the game to pause for about a second or two. Very annoying. So when the first time you make any changes here and close the applications, they won't be saved. Just restart the application, make any simple change, close it. A prompt will show up like this. Do you want to save the configuration now? Then click on yes. Now we are ready to make changes. This is the controller configuration that I am using. Here just make sure these two boxes have been checked. Disable lizard mode, and these are my access mappings: left analog stick, right analog stick, triggers, that's it, button mappings, face buttons, select and start buttons. So Steam button has been mapped to Xbox One controller's X button. Let me just show you this button. Basically this one. I have not assigned any keys to Steam Deck's menu button. It's basically the button with 3 white dots. We'll be using this button to access Steam Deck tools overlay. Then we have the D-pad buttons. Assign the shoulder buttons. Triggers have already been assigned. Yeah, these are the back grip buttons: L4, R4, L5 and R5. I have assigned L3 and R3 buttons of Steam Deck controllers to back grip L4 and R4 buttons. This is completely optional. You don't need to follow this. Nothing assigned to the L5 and R5 back grip buttons. L3 and R3 buttons are right here. That's it. Keyboard mappings, none. Same thing for mouse mappings, none. That's it. We are ready to use our controller configuration. Reminding you again, when you are using SWICD, make sure Steam is not running in the background, and you don't need to use it with any Steam game. Even with this application, we have the option to launch it automatically when Windows boots up. Just open it, go to settings and check this box, start with Windows. I don't want this, so I'll just uncheck it. Now I'll be installing Steam Deck Tools project. Using this project, we can see the real-time performance statistics, change Steam Deck's TDP values and even control its fan. All of this can be done on the fly while we are gaming. This is the OSD, on-screen display. Some of the features of this project directly manipulates the kernel memory. The application can get flagged by antivirus softwares or some online competitive games that use an anti-cheat mechanism. So for these games, it is recommended to disable the access to kernel drivers. We'll be showing you this in the later part of the video. After disabling the kernel driver access, the application won't show CPU and GPU usage. It will also not show any fan RPM. So after installing Steam Deck Tools, we'll be getting these 4 applications: fan control, performance overlay, power control. Already explained all of them. Lastly, we have Stream Controller. Using it, you can play non-Steam games, but I have already set up SWICD, so won't be using it. It's entirely up to you. For the purpose of running Steam Deck Tools, need to install these 3 applications. already installed the bus driver and Visual C++ applications for SWICD. Don't need to download them again. So just need to install Revia Tuner Statistics Server. Now you can install it from here. There's the Guru 3D website. Just need to scroll down to the end and click on this link. I usually install MSI Afterburner software. It comes bundled with a stable version of Revia Tuner Statistics. Using Afterburner software, I assign a key to toggle on-screen display on the fly while we are gaming. Let me just show you from where to download Afterburner. Available on Guru 3D website. Just scroll down to the end and click on the stable final link. There's the setup file. Just install Afterburner. Once the installation is complete, a prompt will show up asking your permission to install Revia Tuner Statistics. Install it as well. Once you're done installing both of these softwares, just create their desktop shortcuts. Just click on start here. Type MSI. There you go. Right click on it. Click on open file location. Right click on it. Show more options. Send to desktop. Create shortcut. Do the same thing for Revia Tuner Statistics. Just a way of easily accessing them. I have already done this. So just open MSI Afterburner software. Click on the settings cog here. Go to on-screen display tab. Assign any key to toggle on-screen display. I have assigned / key to it. So when I press the / key while I am gaming, it will toggle the on-screen display. Now just open Revia Tuner Statistics Server application. It should load up in the taskbar. There it is. These are my settings. Just make sure you are using the same settings. It's a global profile. Let it run in the background. This is required to use Steam Deck tools. Download the latest version of Steam Deck tools project from here. This is the version that I am using, 0.5.47. Just click on this exe link. It will download the application. I have already downloaded it. Install it on your PC. I have already done that. After the installation is complete, these 4 applications will be installed on your PC. Power control, Steam controller, fan control and performance overlay. I'll launch all of them except for Steam controller. They'll be present in the taskbar running in the background. There you go. We have the option to launch these applications automatically upon Windows boot up. All you need to do is right click on any of the application and then enable this setting, run on startup. I am only using this setting for the fan control, not for other applications. It is entirely up to you. So let me just explain the fan control. I have set it to SteamOS. With this setting, the fan on Windows runs just like how it does on SteamOS. In my case, it is very silent, but this setting requires access to kernel. So don't use it with online competitive games. For these games, you should be using the default fan curve. So when you try to switch to SteamOS or Max fan curve, this prompt will pop up warning you that these values might trigger anti-cheat protection in some games. Just switch to use default fan curve. For my single player offline games, I just stick with SteamOS fan curve. Next we have the performance overlay. Just right click on it. From here we can enable or disable the kernel drivers access. And these are the different overlay levels. We can change these levels from the on-screen display. Next we have power control. Just right click on it. From here you can change the TDP values. 15 watts is the max value available for the APU. Lowering the value can help in conserving the battery at the cost of performance. Just need to find the sweet spot. So from here we can enable or disable the kernel drivers access as well. FPS limit can be placed from here. 15, 30, 60 and off. We can also adjust the brightness and volume levels. I'll be doing all of this stuff on the fly when running a game. Now it's time to test a game. I'll be running Persona 5 Royal using Xbox PC app. I have Gamepass Ultimate subscription. So before starting the game, make sure all of these applications are running in the background. SWICD driver, Review tuner statistic, MSI Afterburner, power control, performance overlay, and Steam Deck fan. Since it's a non-Steam game, make sure you exit from Steam before starting it. Okay, game started guys, and you can see there's the overlay. So let me just press the keyboard hotkey for toggling the overlay. There's my keyboard. Yeah, it worked. All thanks to MSI Afterburner software. Now in order to access the Steam Deck Tools overlay, all you need to do is press and hold the Steam menu button. It's this button with 3 white dots. You can see settings popped up. From here we can change the settings using the D-pad buttons. Brightness, increasing the brightness, decrease it. Volume can also be adjusted from here. Left and right D-pad buttons. FPS limit can be applied. You can see FPS dropped down to 30. I'll just go back to 60 FPS. 60 FPS now. GPU scaling, not using it. Color, it's basically the color profile. Normal and vivid, entirely up to you. TDP limit can be applied from here. 3 watts, 4 watts, 5 watts, go up to 15 watt, entirely up to you. Yeah, this warning will pop up. It's the kernel access warning. We know about this. SMT can be enabled or disabled from here. Basically disabling the logical cores if you set the value to no. OSD can be enabled or disabled from here. We can switch among the different overlay levels from here. This one is the detail overlay level. This one is the full overlay level. Minimal. FPS with battery. Only FPS. So I'll stick with full. Frame time graph. Kernel drivers access can be enabled or disabled from here as well. Fan curve, SteamOS, that's it. This game is not demanding, so I think I'm using the max settings. Graphics setting, custom, rendering scale 100%. Most of the settings here are set to high. Frame rate limit set to 60. SMA anti-aliasing, yeah. Resolution set to 1280 by 800 pixels. VSync enabled. Alright, the game has started. You can see the CPU usage here. CPU is consuming around 5 watts of power. Temperature, RAM usage almost 6 GB. GPU usage 50%. VRAM consumed 1.5 GB. Fan RPM 1500. Let me reduce the volume in order to avoid copyright. And this is the FPS counter. Frame time graph. PC Gamepass game running on Steam Deck. We did it guys. Estimated playtime 25 minutes. Only 11% of battery is remaining. So guys, that's it with my Windows guide. I hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.